at least over a week now. We met like this to discuss. A lot has happened in between, and I believe we have been able to keep abreast with a couple of those things that have happened. So on this live stream, we're just going to pick just a few of them and discuss. Not supposed to be a lengthy live stream. So just brief live stream and talk about. Oh, all right. I believe it's not. It's no longer a surprise that January 2027 is going. So yeah, 2027 is going to be our general election, and I also want to believe that it's no longer a surprise that Peter Obi has already been registered by INEC officially on the platform as the presidential candidate of NDC ahead of the 2027 general election. Please, if you are just connecting, kindly do well to like this live stream. Also, how do you do that? Just double tap on your screen. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for connecting. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, as you are connecting, help us to like the live stream, or you can help us double tap your screen to like the live stream so that anybody at all from anywhere at all they are connecting or they can be able to see this live stream. Also, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, we deal more on political discussions. So please, if you are a lover of political content, kindly do well to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we have topics related to politics, you can also be among those who view from this channel, right? So, as we're saying, a lot has happened, and I believe that you must have come across the current rumor that by August, which is this month, on the 18th, the opposition parties, the major opposition parties, will be coming together for a discussion, and that involves person like Atiku Abubakar, person like Peter Obi, Sheyi Makinde, and Donald Duke. So they are already planning for a united front against Tinubu. From the angle they are looking at him, that this man may bring up a lot of excuses why the opposition are not strong enough to face him in 2027. So the opposition parties want to bring up a master strategy, a master plan to say, okay, this energy we are bringing is no longer one party as we came individually. It's a combination of the thought forces put together, right? So that will be a combination of ADC, combination of PRP, combination of PDP. Sandy Ono is among those persons. So Sandy Ono of PDP, and then the only person that is not there for the major opposition party is Showore. So, but for other major persons, Peter Obi of the NDC, they're also supposed to be in attendance for that particular meeting. So, more or less, a lot of persons have been talking. Is this the right option at this time? Is it the best option for the opposition parties? Do you think Atiku, in fact, not just Atiku, every person involved in this discussion, do you think that they are ready to um, lay down their pride, their personal ambition to either accept, to decline at this point for the best candidate, the most fitting candidate to take up the mantle, take up the baton at this point? Now, left for me, I don't know for yours, if you have your own perspective about this particular meeting, please help us to drop it in the comment box. For me, I feel this particular coalition, it is almost late for them to have come up with this coalition at this point, because the electorate, it is not just about the candidates, but the electorate, those that will be voting. It may bring a split of interest, because there are those persons that want Peter Obi to become the president. And let's say, for instance, after this particular conference, Peter Obi does not emerge as the sole presidential candidate that the opposition want to front. would the electorate, those persons that are supporters of Peter Obi, would they be willing to take, let's say, for instance, a Donald Duke, would they be able, or would they be willing to support an Atiku presidential ticket? So those are some of the things from my own view that I feel may be the lapses for this particular coalition they are looking at. I don't know what's your own opinion. Please, you can actually do well to put your own input in the comment box. Let's discuss around it. So as we speak, 18th of August is there about 5 days from now. And campaign itself is supposed to take place 6 days from now, which is on the 20th of August 2026. From 20th of August 2026, campaigns are supposed to take place. And we are just 2 days to the campaign. The opposition parties want to come together as one front, as a single front against the incumbent. For me, I feel this will distract the electorate. I don't know of you. What do you think about that? Let us know in the comment box. For everyone connecting, thank you so much for having you here. I can see a couple of us on the live stream. Please, as you connect, please don't just connect and be on the sideline, because this is supposed to be an interactive live stream. Please do well to drop your own opinion as you connect. Kindly do well to drop your own opinion. So as I was saying, for the first part of this night's live stream, we're talking about the conference that is supposed to take place, which is supposed to bring in the major opposition party together as they seek to file a single candidate. So I am saying, from my own opinion, I feel it's almost very late, because the electorate have already known that, okay, when it comes to ADC, we are going to be supporting Atiku Abubakar. When it comes to NDC, we are going to be supporting Peter Obi. When it comes to PRP, we are going to be supporting Donald Duke. And when it comes to PDP, we are going to support Sandiono. Whereas this is a good move. But I feel if this move should have been something that the people, or they want to actually front, it should have been something that would have taken place way before this particular time. I feel that what happened in that Ibadan Ibadan conference, that particular Ibadan declaration, what happened, because it was more or less flawed by a lot of personal interests that were at play. This particular challenge would be what may not allow this conference to be successful, because Atiku at this point is someone that this particular election is going to be more or less like the last straw for him, because age-wise, he may not be as vital, he may not be as active as he would be in the next electoral phase, which will be in 2031. He may not be as vibrant as he is age-wise. So that's why going into this particular election, he is going in like a do or die. He's going in like life and death. He's going in all out for this particular election. And on the other hand, Peter Obi has calculated, because he is someone that deals with order. He's not someone that does things haphazardly. So he's saying, from his own calculation, he is looking at, okay, this turn is for the southern part, and he will not want to disrupt the electoral plan for 2031, because as at 2021, politically, it is supposed to shift towards the north, of which Peter Obi have come to an agreement, an official agreement, which is even documented between him and Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, that as at 2031, he will be supporting Rabiu Kwankwaso to go in for the presidency. I believe he will not want to go against that particular agreement. So that automatically means that we will not be expecting Peter Obi in 2031. And so when the next electoral phase will turn, which is by 2035, according to Peter Obi, I think he said that he will be there about 70-something years, which he will not want to dabble into politics. He will want to rest as at that point. He wants to give himself rest from active politics. And we know that, age actually counts because, my dear, to run politics is not easy at all. It comes with its own challenges because people will be dragging you here and there. You have heard of recently one of those interviews Peter Obi was having, where he said that even people that were close to him, his close friends, they are even distancing themselves because they don't want people to start suspecting are they aligning with him or things like that. So he will not want to find himself. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for connecting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate having us on this live stream. Please, if you are just connecting, kindly help us to like the live stream. Kindly help us like the live stream. Also, you can do well to share this live stream. If you are not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button so that whenever we have meetings like this or live streams like this, you can also participate. Please ensure that as you join this live stream, you also contribute your own points in the comment box. So as I was saying, Peter Obi also is looking at this particular election as his own last straw. And so he will not want to bend for anybody. He will not want to bend his interest for anybody. And on the other hand, Donald Duke may want to, because Donald Duke is still younger in the race compared to Peter Obi and Atiku. Donald Duke is still younger. And then on the other hand, Sandy Ono is also very much younger than Sandy Ono of the PDP. If Omoleye Sowore may at any point want to align with them, Sowore is still also younger. And then another person there is Shey Makinde. Shey Makinde age-wise is also younger compared to others. And then in terms of the spread, geographical spread, we know that there are three persons that have the spread as long as the 2027 election is concerned. Tinubu has the spread, Atiku Abubakar has the spread, and then Peter Obi has the spread. But for Shey Makinde, he doesn't really have that much of political spread across the 6 geopolitical zones compared to the 3 persons I've mentioned. Donald Duke, if Donald Duke, towards the first outing Donald Duke made, Donald Duke had that political weight, he had that coverage. But because Donald Duke, at some point, he stayed back from involving in active politics. As at that point, this, to a certain level, actually limited his political spread, his geographical spread. So he doesn't have that much of spread compared to others. And then the next person who is have I talked about? Yeah, I think Shey Makinde, yeah. He also does not have that spread. This more or less is going to be his first outing. So his spread cannot be measured as of this point. So those ones may want to bend down for Atiku or a Peter Obi ticket. But for Peter Obi and Atiku, the both of them, according to their own calculations, this is more or less the last straw for them. And so I feel that if they should meet during this particular conference, the both of them, that game of interest, it may be very, very difficult for one person to go down for the other. It may be very difficult, especially that, you know that Peter Obi has once said that he's actually going to be on the ballot. He has actually assured his voters, that his supporters, that he's going to be on the ballot. And so that will be more or less like a betrayal, which is going to be a major hole in his how people are going to perceive him politically, that he doesn't have that strength. You know that before now, there was already a rumor that Peter Obi he doesn't like to compete. He doesn't like to contest in the primaries. He just like a free ticket and things like that. So just imagine that he now bends for an Atiku to take the lead, for him to be filed as a presidential candidate. Politically, if tomorrow he changes his mind and wants to come back for the contest, he may not be politically relevant again. Because for the obedient movement, one, they have already zeroed their mind that it is Peter Obi or nothing. And then, on the other hand, going beyond that, Nigerians across board, they are also seeing him as a major option. And more or less, they may take him like someone that is not firm with his words, someone that actually is not firm, is not strong enough, which would not be good for him politically. So that is another aspect that may make Peter Obi will not want to bend. And Atiku, on the other hand, has been contesting. That's why you see everybody are calling him their elder brother, because he has been there right from 1992. Atiku Abubakar has been contesting. And so looking at it that it is his last straw, Atiku Abubakar may not want to bend down. So I feel that looking, way back from 2023 outing, the person that has the most chances now would be a Peter Obi ticket, because looking at the spread, from the eastern extraction, this is going to be a major opportunity for the eastern extraction for them to support a candidate of their own choice. This will be an opportunity for them, of which is going to be a limitation for an Atiku ticket, because over the years, most of the pool or the block votes Atiku have been amazing has been coming from the eastern extraction as well as the southern extraction. And we already know that with the president of Donald Duke in the race, the president of Sandy Ono, the southern vote is already shaky. The southern vote is already shaky. And then going to the eastern part, Atiku may not have good number of votes in the eastern part, of which is this person, Peter Obi, already. Peter Obi is sure of a minimum of 60% votes from the eastern region. And going to the southern part, Peter Obi is also sure of getting at least a 40 to 50% votes from the southern part. For the western part, we already know that Tinubu is already going to take that particular zone. So let's say Peter Obi may take 20% from the western part to add to what he has, fall back to the northern part. If you go to the northern part, in as much as Atiku looks like, okay, the north is more or less more favorable to him. But don't forget, that is where Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso is coming from. It is from that particular extraction. And so Rabiu Kwankwaso is going to actually, yeah, thank you so much, Rufus. Thank you so much. It's nice having you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for connecting. Please kindly help us double tap on your screen. Help us like this live stream. Please help us like this live stream. If you're just connecting, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly help us subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button. So as I was saying, looking at the northern extraction, Rabiu Kwankwaso is not somebody that you will look down on. Look at his first outing. He already controlled a block of votes from Kano. And you know that when we talk about the state that decides the victory of an election in Nigeria, we talk about the KK states. And those KK states has to do with Kano, Kaduna, Kebbi. And then there's this, those are the major three states: Kano, Kaduna, Kebbi. Okay, the last one is Katsina. That is 4. Kano, Kaduna, Kebbi, and Katsina. Those 4 states. Thank you so much. That's Obilo. I don't know if I get the name well. Ogbonda Obilo. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate having you here. Everyone that are connected, I really appreciate having us here. Please, this particular live stream is supposed to be conversational. So if you have any suggestion, any opinion at all to drop, please, the comment box is meant for that. You can send in your contribution, okay, so that we discuss around it. Now, as I was saying, Rabiu Kwankwaso on his first outing, Kano alone, he struck 1 million votes. And then from every other vote he gathered from every other extraction, landed him about roughly 1.5 million votes. Now, imagine taking that block vote from this person, an Atiku. And you know, Atiku more or less, who is from the northern eastern extraction, right? Which Tinubu to certain level is going to control a good number of votes from there. Tinubu is going to take a number of votes from there. So Atiku more or less does not have good chances compared to Peter Obi. He does not have that amount of chances because Tinubu is going to share the votes there. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso is also going to share the votes in that region. Already we know that the Northwest is already controlled by Rabiu Kwankwaso. So they are going to share. And the Northeast is not enough. The Northeast is not enough to give Atiku the number of votes he would need to really stand as against the force of an Obi ticket or an a Tinubu ticket. So more or less, the person that would not want to bow at this point is Peter Obi in that conference, because they have already mapped out these calculations. So Peter Obi may not want to bend for an Atiku to take the lead. So at that point, I feel that that particular conference is already gone. It's already gone. That's my own opinion. I don't know of you. What do you think about that conference that's about to take place on the 18th of August? I don't think it will be something productive. It will be the same thing, just the way it happened in that of Ibadan. Okay, thank you so much, Cosmos. I really appreciate having you here. Thank you so much. Please, Cosmos, what do you think about that conference that is about to take place in August? That is on the 18th of August. What do you think about it? So that's one part. And I think there's something else I wanted us to talk about on this particular live stream so that I don't forget it. You know that the election is going to be in January 2027, right? And then it's there about that period where for the Christian extraction, most people may have traveled on vacation, right? And so a couple of persons, they start traveling back. They start traveling back from, it's going to be unfruitful. Thank you, Mr. Cosmos. Thank you for that. That's my opinion too. That's my view. That conference may not be productive at all. It may not be productive at all. So that period, most persons who like traveling back from second, third week, that's when they start traveling back. And so there is this particular strategy that the APC wants to deploy that may be against either an Obi ticket or an Atiku ticket, which it is necessary we talk about it. We start creating awareness right before time. What is that? Please, if for any reason, let's try to defer this particular 2026 traveling, this end of year traveling, because as at that point where you may want to be returning back, there is high chances that because of public holiday and a lot of things, you may not be able to meet up again to travel. They don't mind bringing up the topic of curfew. They don't mind bringing up curfew as an excuse to hinder people from traveling. They don't mind doing anything to destabilize the system to ensure that people are unable to go back to their polling unit. Remember, wherever you are traveling to may not be where you are actually going to be voting from. So it's necessary we start creating this awareness. This is very strategic for you to see that the election is taking place that period. It is very strategic because especially people from the eastern part of Nigeria that like enjoyment so much, they would actually want to travel that season. They want to travel. And then returning for most of them is like second, third week, which is falling in the election period itself. And so this may be against an Obi ticket. So if you are actually rooting to vote for NDC, if you are rooting to vote for a Peter Obi, we will plead with you that this period, this particular year, kindly suspend the traveling because it will not going to be in favor of a Peter Obi ticket. And then for those persons, there's this particular strategy. People ask, how will our vote count and things like that, which was one of those things I discussed in one of those live streams. I was saying that if you want your vote to count, first of all, start from where your polling unit is located. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ruth. That's true, Ruth. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me here. Please kindly help us to like the live stream. Help us to press that thumbs up key, okay? Or double tap on your screen. Now, as I was saying, looking at it from this other end, that in 2023, there was this particular strategy that the APC brought up in Lagos State. They actually induced an Oro festival, which they know that during Oro, a non-indigene cannot step out during Oro, which is why if your vote must count, you're supposed to transfer your polling unit to a place that you know that no matter whatever strategy they bring, it will not be against you. So let's say you are an Igbo person, you are supposed to transfer your polling unit to your village so that as you are going for the celebration, whilst the election is by the corner, you know that you are voting close to your comfort. We remember what happened in 2023 in Lagos State, for instance, where they say if you are not from Lagos State, you should not come out and vote. Can you remember that thing? Don't be deceived that such kind of strategy may not play out in 2027. Don't be deceived that such strategy may not play out again. So if your vote must count, it was wise and prudent that you had moved your polling unit to a place that is your own stronghold, so that nothing at all would either hinder you from going out to vote or to defend your vote. That's another thing I needed to let us understand. So back to the topic, we're discussing on the chances of having a coalition as against 2027. And I was asking everybody, do we think that this particular conference on the 18th of August between all the opposition party, do we think that anything productive is going to come out of it? For me, I was saying that I don't see the chances that it is actually going to be productive. I don't see that chances that it's going to be productive. Just a quick one, while we are sending in our suggestion, please let me know your own opinion on that, please. The comment box is open for our contribution. Kindly let me know your opinion on that. Do you think that this particular conference is going to be productive? While we're still discussing that, there is something else we need to talk about. Looking at the Constitution, right? The Constitution has clearly stated, especially the electoral rules, what it is required for a candidate to vow in for any office, right? I believe that at this point, which is a precedent that is not supposed to be set at all, because it may not matter today, but in the future, and we know that law, when they are quoting law is built sometimes on precedent. They can quote a negative precedent as long as it was not queried, as long as someone has taken that step and it was justified. It can be used it can be cited in future times. Now, what am I talking about? There's a criteria that say, educational wise, this is the barest minimum for any candidate at all that must contest. You must have this particular certificate. Let's talk about the presidency, for instance. A barest minimum of primary 6 first school leaving certificate or its equivalent. And we have a couple of candidates across other offices that do not have this minimum requirement, whereas the INEC is overlooking it. Starting from our number one man, who do not feel anything at all for the first column for the first school leaving certificate and that of the secondary school. So that means that one day somebody will even come out without even filling in the column for the that of university. And it is even possible for someone to even forge a certificate and come and submit, which is another challenge again that this may cause in the future. Because the INEC this time did not kick against it, it can now be a precedent for future contestants. And going forward, educational certification will no longer matter. It will no longer be relevant again. That's another point. And then it is also necessary we talk about this other aspect, that there's a card that they play during this election period. And what is that card? The card of tribalism, the card of religion. Watch that. Immediately after election, all regions of Nigeria will unite back, will be stronger than ever. But the interesting part is that we'll be stronger in suffering the consequence of our decision just after the election. Meaning that whatever decision we are making now, if we allow religion, if we allow tribalism to becloud our sense of reasoning, we will all unite together at the end of the day to suffer the consequence of the decision we are making now. And that's why, because this is going to decide either the rest of the future of this country or the 4-year time from now, we should be critical on thinking through and thinking selectively on who we are actually voting in from bottom to top as our leaders come 2027. I have shared with us before where I discussed with a top APC chieftain who told me that in the real sense, not as if Tinubu is not doing anything. Tinubu is trying his best. He has allocated funds. In fact, he has even ensured that the independence of the local government level, they have their autonomy. The local government has greater degree of autonomy compared to other regimes. They have their accounts. This money will be allocated starting from the state governor down to the local government. And when this allocation comes, instead of these persons in these offices to use the money for the right things, for those things they propose to the citizens that they are going to achieve during their time in office, they divert the money. They use the money for something else. And they blame now, Nigerians now turn the blame to Tinubu, whereas he has actually given them the money. He has given them a greater share of the allocation to use to perform their function. And so that, therefore, if you view it critically, you see that he is actually making a point. He's actually making a point, because if we are not careful who we select to be our councillors, next, our House of Rep members, the next one, our National Assembly members, our senators, it will all end in shambles, because a president alone is not enough to pilot the entire country. It is a unified force. And that's why, for this APC government, why decisions easily transcend is because there is a unity. There is a unity among the caucus. Between the three arms, there is certain level of unity. And so, it is easier for things to flow. And that means, if we don't have persons of like minds, there will be friction. And so, therefore, no matter how much the intention of any president at all, as long as we do not tackle the corruption right from the grassroots, it will be a wasted effort. And I seem to buy to that idea that not as if Tinubu indeed is not doing anything, but people at the grassroots level, there are some, to a certain degree, they are also responsible for why we are where we are. They are also responsible for that. Because if a senator gets an allocation and does not use it for what it was meant for, that particular senatorial district suffers the penalty of not having a good representative. Thank you so much, Akilola. Thank you so much. Mr. Akilola, I don't know what contribution do you have on this particular live stream. Please, kindly help us to drop it in the comment box. Help us drop it in the comment box, all right? For everyone connecting, I really appreciate having us here. Thank you so much. Trust me, your presence here means a lot to us. It means a lot to me, right? No money at all can actually buy your presence. No money at all. And that's why I cherish it so much. And that's why I do not just make this live stream to come and waste your time at all. I want us to discuss the real fact. In fact, to discuss about nation building, to talk about the future of our country. Because for me, I'm not somebody that is a proponent of travel abroad, go lavish there, do anything, raise your family. I'm not that one. I'm somebody that loves his country. Because if Nigeria was to be good, other countries would want to also come here and invest. Look at different countries who I may not even have the luxury of time to talk about. Is it China? Because the time China closed its border, came together and said, we want change, we want development. There has been a prophecy on us that there is a sleeping eagle. There's a sleeping eagle in China. There's a sleeping eagle. And so therefore, to wake the ego. They had to come together and then send out a couple of persons and say, go to this part, go to this part. They sent across the world to countries that their systems were working. I said, go and learn and then come back and let's develop our country. From there, we could see development. China, this in present times, were century years ahead of many countries today. Do we want to talk about that of Ghana? Look at Ghana of yesterday. Look at Ghana of yesterday. Today, Ghana is way ahead of us. Do you want to talk about South Africa? You can't even compare our money to that of South Africa. Our money is way lesser than their own in terms of the words. Thank you so much, Mr. Dennis. Thank you so much. It's amazing having you here. Thank you so much. Believe me, your presence here means a lot to us, okay? Now, somebody at some point needs to sit down and say enough is enough. And that's why come 2027, we should not just stay on the sideline and say our vote does not count, it doesn't matter, and so on. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. That's why we are where we are today. It is because it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. That's why we find ourselves where we are today. Because we have been given that excuse, our vote does not count, and they will rig the election, we do this. An election is rigged if there is an agreement within the electorate that the election should be rigged. But as long as the electorate has made up their mind that their vote must count, how many are the political class? How many are the talks indeed that could be able to stop the decision of the masses? How many are they? So if we make that decision that our vote must count come 2027, nothing at all can stop us, because the actual power in a democratic system lies within the people. It is the people that actually possess the power and not those in government. Those in government carries the degree of power to the degree for which the people have actually given to them. You think the people in power are not scared of the masses? No, they are. If not, they wouldn't have had a bridle as to the extent of what they do. But because they know that if they do certain things, the people may not be able to bear it. But you know, there is this default in Nigerians. We tolerate a lot. We keep adjusting. We pray we don't tear one day, because according to the principle of elasticity, we have the elastic limit, the plastic limit, and then the breaking point. We pray we don't wake up at the breaking points where we can no longer be repaired, because they push us to this corner, we adjust. They push us to another corner, we adjust. We have reached that point where we don't need to adjust again. We need to fix things. The country is highly indebted. Our money no longer holds much of value again. Security-wise, the country is not as safe as it used to be. Those days I used to share with friends. I say, I was in a place where when it is Harmattan season, we sleep outside till morning and we are scared of virtually nothing. We sleep outside and we are scared of nothing till the next day. In fact, I heard someone talk about something that I relate very well with. Those days, you could go to a shop, and when you get to the shop, the owner of the shop is not there. You pick what you need to pick, if need be. Or if there's someone there, say, oh, I came to buy so thing. And then you pick what you need to pick, you drop the money, you pick the balance that belongs to you. Even though the person may be in the room, say, okay, I wanted to get so thing, I have seen it, I have dropped my money, and then you will drop the money. If there is balance, I'll pick my balance and you go your way. And the person will come back, will meet the money. Nothing missing at all. Nothing missing. But these days, try it as a business person. They will not even tell you that I want to buy something. They'll pick your goods and go away. Unlucky for you, even drop money. You can't even drop money anywhere and be sure that you come back and meet your money again. But the world was that safe in our days. It was that safe in our times. And that's why we need to start moving back. Do you know that those days, if we watch in the news, we used to hear 3 persons in Kanu, 3 persons in Cross River, like 1 person. And that 1 person will hear it for like 3 months. We will not hear that kind of negative news again. And the entire country will talk about that news as if it's something. But now, we are recording things like 600 persons slaughtered, 900 persons, mass this. And then is we have gotten to that point where it no longer look like anything at all. Give it 3 days, everybody have moved on with their business, move on with their life. It's not supposed to be so. Where is the value and sanctity of life? Where is the value of life? So we need to adjust back to how things used to be before we get to that breaking point. Okay, Mr. Francis says, since the 18th August conference will not hold any water from my own observation, because I see ADC candidate not buy order down for any other candidate. Yes, that's true. That's my opinion too, Mr. Francis. I don't think that particular conference is really relevant. I don't think that conference is relevant because for the NDC, Peter Obi, for a fact, I don't think he will bow to that particular agreement. If he's not the sole presidential candidate, I don't think Peter Obi will want to bow. Likewise, an Atiku who feels this is his last opportunity, I don't think an Atiku will want to. And if there is room for dollar to exchange hands, anybody at that point may want to. And you know, Peter Obi, for a fact, because his principle, he doesn't really like that kind of setting. So he may not even want to move on. So for me, I think it is death on arrival. That's from my own perspective. That's my own perspective. So I think that conference, it is even unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary for me. It is too late. The opportunity for that to have held would have been before all these persons are being enlisted for the various parties for which they belong. That's my own opinion, though. That's my own opinion. It may work for Atiku, Donald Duke, Sandiono, and others, because compared to the geographical spread, you know that Atiku is the most person that is disadvantaged this 2027 election. So if the Donald Duke want to align with him, Seyi Makinde want to align with him, and then Sandiono want to align with him, fine. But for a Peter Obi and Atiku ticket, the chances are slim as anything. I don't think it's going to be possible at all. So for me, I feel it's a waste of time. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Francis, for that. Please, any other person that have suggestion, we're about running up. I believe in the next 5 minutes, we should be done with this live stream. The next 5 minutes, we should be done with the live stream. So please, any contribution at all, we've said a couple of things. If you have any question at any point, please kindly do well to drop in the comment box, okay? And don't forget, election election platform is opening up. It's kicking off officially on the 20th. On the 20th of August. That is 6 days from now. So when it kick off, let's all come out en masse. Well, we need to go out for the campaign. Please, let's not stay behind. For those that need Peter Obi to be the president, don't forget we have the mama in the village. We have the papas in the village who are not even on this social media to know what is happening. And those persons are vulnerable to different propagandas. They can feed them with different propagandas. And that's why we need to take the message to them. We need to let them know what is obtainable, what is going on, what they need to know. We need to let them know. So let's go out and preach the gospel of Peter Obi to them. This is an opportunity we should not stay behind at all. And especially when it comes to that election time, I've told us that please, if for anything this year, try not to travel by December. Because we don't know the strategy that the APC is putting in place to ensure that other parties will not have a good number of turn-up. Try not to travel this particular December. We can always travel every other day. There's Easter for us to travel. There's every other celebration ahead. But let's take this 2027 January general election as something very serious. Because it is what is going to either decide the fate of the country for the rest of its time or the next 4 years. So please, let's take it very serious. All right, I believe that your presence here has been very useful, has been very instrumental to us. So I don't take your presence here for granted. Thank you everyone for connecting. I am seeing a good number of us, just that compared to the number of likes for this particular live stream, We only have 2 persons that have liked the live stream. Please kindly help us like the live stream, okay? Click the like button. It is free of charge. You don't pay for it at all. It is just to help create awareness to other person, because as you like it, the YouTube platform is going to share it to other persons. It's going to help us recommend it to other persons. So kindly help us like the live stream. It is free of charge, okay? So as you like the live stream, other persons will also get the opportunity to receive this video at their end. All right? And also, if you are yet to subscribe, you can do well to subscribe. If you also want to support financially, there is a $ behind, below. You can click the $ and also support in your own way, so that we can also have opportunity to be meeting like this through purchasing the bulk of data that is needed for us to be posting the updates we need and every other thing that we need to keep us informed of every update we need to know. So please, if you are just connected, if you are yet to subscribe, kindly help us to click the subscribe button. I think at this point, we're about wrapping up. We're about drawing the curtain. We're about calling it a day. Any question at this point, any suggestion, any recommendation, help us type it in the comment box. We are open for suggestion. We're open for recommendation. Anything at all you want us to talk about, do well to type it in the comment box, okay? Do well to type it in the comment box. And when there is opportunity, we can still meet tomorrow by same evening time, maybe there about 7, 8 o'clock. We can still have a moment to discuss on other pressing aspect that we need to talk about, okay? So help us to double tap on your screen. Just press your screen twice or thrice, and it will help us like the live stream. Or you minimize and then click. That is, you go off the comment and click on the like button so that you can like the live stream. And also, if you want to support financially, there's a $ below. Help us to click it, and then any amount you want to support, as well as you can also help us share the live stream. There's a place below for you to share the live stream. So kindly help us share the live stream, okay? Yeah, I've seen somebody have liked the live stream. Thank you so much. Any question, please? This particular section is for us to ask question or make suggestion. Any suggestion, any question at all, please kindly type in the comment box. And if there is no question, any suggestion at all, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I think we may have to call it a day from there. So we'll meet tomorrow by God's grace in the evening from there about 7, 8 p.m. All right. I think I want to believe that there is no question, there is no further suggestion at this point. For everybody that have dropped their comments, Rufus, Ogbeda, Obilo, Cosmos, Francis, Ruth, Akinlola, Dennis, Francis, I give every one of you a special shout out. I want to tell you that I really value and treasure your presence here. It has always been fun having you people here and very educative. I want to let us know that this particular channel for now is dedicated for political content, because anybody at all that is truly patriotic to their country do not take the selection process for which the leadership of the country is made for granted. We are supposed to be nation builders, and that's why discussions like this are very much relevant. And so we are going to be doing more of this as we approach the election period by January 2027. So do well to be connecting with us. Anytime you see us on this live stream, come in with your question, come in with your suggestion, come in with anything you need to seek clarification on. We are going to be discussing on them. And please, to comment is free of charge. You don't pay to comment at all. It is free of charge. So do well to be actively engaged each time we come on live stream, so that anything you need clarification on, we can do well to give you the necessary clarification on it, okay? So at this point, I want to really appreciate every one of us, because I look forward to that moment where this particular channel becomes our most favorite click. For now, do enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night, depending on where you're connecting from. Thank you so much. God bless you for connecting. Stay safe. Cheers.